السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم صل وسلم على عبدك ورسولك سيدنا Muhammad. Can you hear me properly? Oh. So we still in the first article of Iman, which is believing in Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And we talk in two lectures about the attributes of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala and how Quran is explain the Tawheed in an amazing way that make you have that strong connection with Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, love Him more than anyone else, rely only on Him. That's type of Tawheed where the Bilal radiallahu anhu taste the flavor of Iman when they put a big rock on his chest in the sand of Mecca in the summer. He always said, Ahadun Ahad, He is one, He is only one, He is one. That taste of Iman, because Quran explained Tawheed in an amazing way. One of the surahs that revealed to Rasulullah ﷺ in the early Mecca, also in the middle of Mecca, and it's one of the longest Mecca surahs, is Suratul An'am. An'am literally means the cattle or livestock. So why there is a surah in Quran called the cattle? And this is one of the surah, it explains the Tawheed very well. Long surah, came down to the Prophet ﷺ in one go, because this surah come to emphasize one aspect of Tawheed, which is the legislation. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is the only legislator. It means when He say to something is forbidden, it means it's forbidden. If you are a Muslim, you can't say to something that Allah Almighty said it's forbidden to say it's permissible. That's here not a major sin. This is now a shirk. A shirk to say to something Allah said it's haram and you say it's halal. Only Allah has this absolute authority. The surah explain here that Tawheed has a lot of aspect in this life. That's why end this surah with قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ لَا شَرِيكَ لَهُ. Say, O Rasulullah sallam, or any reader, that my prayer, my sacrifice, my life and my death, all to the sake of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. La sharika lahu. So in this surah, it just illustrates this. That's why in that Mecca period, the Quraysh, which the tribe in Mecca, they tried to initiate a lot of laws, which they said sometimes crazy. They said these cattle, for example, if the camel, female camel, give birth 10 times, then we should cut its ears and we should not ride it, we should not milk it, we should not. Allah Ta'ala said, wait a minute, the one who created this cattle is the one who say what is permissible and what is not permissible. Only Allah Ta'ala. So let me give me two examples here. If we all know that drinking alcohol in Islam is forbidden. That's one of the basics of Islam. Because drinking alcohol can cause a lot of effect to your mind, to your life. When Allah Ta'ala talk about this main forbidden, He always mention what's the wisdom and purpose behind this prohibition. Everything Allah Ta'ala prohibited, it means it's harm society. That when He talk about alcohol, He said, إنما الخمر والميسر والأنصاب والأزلام رجس من عمل الشيطان فاجتنبوه لعلكم تفلحون. One of these things is gambling and alcohol is forbidden. Then he said, why? إنما يريد الشيطان أن يوقع بينكم العداوة والبغضاء في الخمر والميسر ويصدكم عن ذكر الله وعن الصلاة فهل أنتم منتهون. He said there's two main reasons why he forbid alcohol and gambling. Reason number one is it affects the society. When you drink alcohol in too much, then you become a different person. You can cause problem to those people you love so much, to your wife, to your children, because in that status you are not yourself. You're just now addicted. So that can cause a lot of problem in society. Reason number two, when you pray and devote to your Lord, you can't devote in that full status, because now that alcohol affects your mind. And look, when he mentioned these two reasons, he mentioned the reason of society first, before the reason which is your relationship between him, the relation between him and you. Why? Because that's obvious for us. Oh, it's forbidden because that affect my salah. But he wants to open our eyes for something else. Even all the legislation that Allah Ta'ala, it's for the benefit of society. Your brain is just amana. Your brain is, Allah gave you this brain for a purpose. And to know your Lord, to worship Him, to devote to Him. If you cause problem to your brain, that's something, it's forbidden. Anyway, why I mention alcohol here? Imagine two Muslims here. We have two Muslims. Both of them drink alcohol. The first one, he drink alcohol, so when we ask him why you drink alcohol, it's forbidden. It causes a lot of problem for your life. Allah forbid this. He said, I know that. It's just my desires. Ask forgiveness for me. That's the first scenario. The second person who is Muslim, when you ask him why you drink alcohol, Allah forbid that when he is in a full status, he is not drunk. He said, I don't care about forbid or not forbidden. I'm just follow my desires. The second one here, he commit a shirk. But the first one, he commit a major sin. The first one, he admit that Allah is the one who has this authority. I admit it's forbidden. But I'm weak, it's my desires. But the second one, he said, I don't care what is forbidden, what is not forbidden. That's a big problem here. That's a shirk. That's affect his tawheed. That's why tawheed is a full package. It's not just. So, we now talk for 2 lectures about the attributes of Allah. What's the implication of that? If you know that Allah is the one who controls everything, is the one who provides everything, is the one who deserves all act of, is the one who, the only creator, the only Rabb, the only master, the only owner, the only one who can give, the only one who can prevent, as we explained. What's the implication of that? The implication of that is ibadah. When you talk about the attributes all your life and you don't do ibadah, then what's the point here? Allah Ta'ala told us all of this to why the implication is to worship Him. That's why the first commands in Quran is ibadah. That's the first commands. When you open the Mus'haf, you recite Surah Al-Fatiha, there is no commands in Surah Al-Fatiha. There's only dua. Guide us to the straight path. Then you went to the second surah. In the ayah number 21, you'll find the first command in the entire Quran. I always said the first thing in the Quran mentioned in Mus'haf is very important. I made the lessons in this, but it's just about the first dua, the first call, Ya ayyuhan, when Allah called humanity. the first command, the first story, the first nation mentioned in Quran. The first thing is very important because this is the order of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. So what's the first command? Ya ayyuhan nas, O mankind, not O Muslims, O human being, because Allah is the creator. So He talk in Quran. Quran is not just for Muslims. Quran for everyone. Quran is the book, the message from Allah to the entire mankind, entire humanity. O mankind, that's the first. Allah called His creation. اعبدوا ربكم, worship your Lord. الذي خلقكم والذين من قبلكم, the one who created you and those before you. لعلكم تتقون, then you may gain taqwa. What's taqwa? When you worship Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, that will lead you to taqwa, to piety. That's the first command. Look at this command. Allah said, worship your Lord, the one who created you. Now the link between Tawheed and Ibadah, between the theory and the practice. Theory is the one who created you and those before you, created everything. Rabb, He deserves, and the only one deserves to worship Him. So that's the implication of Tawheed. When you believe in Allah, then you'll worship Him. But worship, Ibadah, the only way we can know what is Ibadah mean is from Quran also. Because it's a Quranic word. So any main terms in Quran, Allah will explain it. And the amazing thing is Allah explained this in the same surah. One of the main purpose of Surah Al-Baqarah is to explain two terms, Ibadah and Islam. Surah Al-Baqarah, the longest surah in Quran, came. One of the main purpose to explain these two terms. What does Muslim mean? What does Islam mean? In details in Surah Al-Baqarah. And term number two is Ibadah. What does Ibadah mean? Because if you understand Ibadah just by the traditions or by you say worship is virtuals. So it means pray to Him, supplicate to Him. That's Ibadah. Fast to Him, go to Hajj. That's Ibadah. No, that's not enough. Ibadah is so broad concept. Allah explained this, and He mentioned two main points you have to understand Ibadah in Quranic concept. Number one, that Ibadah lead to taqwa. اعبدوا لعلكم تتقون. Ibadah is a physical form, but that physical form is just a form. It leads to something else, which is something in your heart, taqwa. Piety is in taqwa, is in your heart. What does that mean? It means Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala will command you to do something, some actions, to say some words, some behavior. That physical form should lead to strong connection with your Lord. Example, if you pray, you do some movements. You make sujood, you make ruku', you recite Fatiha and Surah, you say Subhana Rabbi al-Azim, Subhana Rabbi al-Ala. All these things is just a physical form. If this thing doesn't connect you with your Lord, then you're still in the physical form. That's not enough. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. The purpose of Ibadah is to lead you to taqwa. What is taqwa? Strong connection with your Lord. So that prayer has a physical form. But when you focus and reflect upon it, that's what will increase your Iman. Every single movement has a meaning, has a purpose behind it. That's point number one in. Another example, if you give charity, this is a physical form. That physical form, if not, there's a connection. If you have sincerity that this is for the sake of Allah, not for the sake of the fame or show off. So sincerity is one of the conditions of ibadah. Why you worship Allah? Because you believe that Allah is the only one can reward you. The only one is deserve ibadah. Do you know that in the time of Rasulullah in Al-Masjid Al-Nabawi, in the mosque of Rasulullah, you know the mosque now we come and we enjoy in that mosque, in 10 years of the life of Rasulullah, there's some people they pray behind Rasulullah. They made ruku', they made sujood, they recite Fatiha. They have, their appearance is, they are Muslims. Everything. And they are, Allah Ta'ala said, in the day of judgment, they will be in the bottom of hellfire. Why? Because it's just a physical form. They pretend that they are Muslims. So any physical form of ibadah is not enough. It's what is in your heart. And what is in your heart is depend to your belief in Allah. The more you love Him, the more your salah will be in khushu', amazing. The more you love Him, the more you will give to donate. The more you love Him, the more you devote to Him. So that's point number one. Link the physical form to spiritual form. Before we leave this first point, spiritual form, it means ibadah. There's a lot of types of ibadah that people sometimes don't think about it. And it's the best type of ibadahs. What's that? Any type of ibadah related to your heart. You don't need to do any action, any physical action. It's just in your heart. Like what? Like tawakkul, reliance on Allah. Like what? Like mahabba, love Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Fear Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Have hope in Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Have yaqeen, certainty in Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. All this is ibadat, and in the top of ibadah. There's no behavior here, there's no action, no anything. You just believe. It's a concept that how you receive the qadarullah tabaraka wa ta'ala. If you, for example, you pray a lot, mashallah, you go to Umrah every time. One day Allah tested you. That you came home and you heard the news that one of your beloved died in accident. May Allah protect all of you. It's a big test. Allah now tests your heart. What you will say in the first time indicate what is in your heart. Your action in the first time when you receive this news will indicate what is in your heart. What is in your heart? That Allah is the one who owns everything. He is the one who created us. He's the one who gave us these, our relatives. And He is the one who takes from us. And He said to us, this is a test. You will meet them in the day of judgment in Jannatul Firdaus. So when you believe, look at the belief system now, how it affects you. When you believe in that, when you receive this, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. It's not a word only. This is a system of belief. We are belong to Allah, and to Him we will return. When you believe in that, you receive the news of qadar in tranquility. You never do like the woman in Jahiliyyah. They try to destroy their clothes. They try to do crazy stuff. No. The belief system is what affects your ibadah. That's the ibadah of receiving the qadarullah. How you look at the worldly matters, all this materialism nowadays. When you have so attachment with this materialism that you don't care if I take it from halal way or haram way, permissible or not permissible, that indicates your belief of system, your belief. If you believe that Allah is the only one who provides, then you never come across the haram. And when you come across haram, you will repent immediately. Because you believe that He is the only one who provides. So how can I seek rizq against his path. All believe. It's all your Iman. Your Iman affects your ibadah. So point number one is ibadah is not just physical form. All this physical form, the most important is what is in your heart. And there is also some ibadat, it's only in your heart. Only in your heart. Look, two people, they listen to the name of Rasulullah and they say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But what in their minds and hearts is so different. Some of them is just, this is habit, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But another one, no, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is something very big. Is that this is the blessing of guidance. Allah sent us the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He has a lot of love of Allah and His messengers in his heart. Do you know our grandmas, grandfathers in our village, when they have that strong Iman, very simple life and strong Iman. When the names of Allah mention, the names of Rasulullah mention, they have that strong Iman. They have that attachment. It's not words for them, not statement. It's something very big. You don't have too much knowledge of these worldly matters, but they have that strong Iman. So Iman, ibadah is about some spiritual actions, some actions just in your heart. And people are different. It's just about this. Some people has high Iman and some people less. They both do the same physical action. They both 5 prayers, fast, donate. But there's something beyond that. What is in your heart? How much do you love Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala? Love Allah is something in the heart. It's one of the top of the ibadat. Gratitude is one of the top of ibadat. As we explained last time, gratitude is something in the heart before you say anything. It's before you say Alhamdulillah, Ashukru Lillah. Before that, anything come to you, you believe that it's from Allah and only from Allah. And everyone is postman. That's a belief. That's why you rely on Allah in everything. Patience is in the heart before you do anything. Because you believe that every test is from Him. So that's the first thing in ibadat, that ibadat is something physical dimension, but every type of ibadah which is physical dimension has a purpose to lead you to taqwa. Number 2, there's many ibadat, there's no physical actions, it's just in your heart, which is the top of ibadat. This is the top of ibadat. That's why Rasulullah said 3 qualities. If it's in your heart, you'll taste the sweetness of Iman. أن يكون الله ورسوله أحب إليه. To love Allah and His messengers more than anything else. If you do that, you'll taste the sweetness of Iman. That's a'malul ibadat. Also, we talk about ibadat here in qulub, in your hearts. Like Allah Ta'ala prohibited gambling and alcohol because it's harmed the society. He also prohibited something just in your heart, not a physical actions. Like what? Like jealousy, like arrogance, like envy. Arrogance is something just in your heart. That's one of the major sins. Jealousy is one of the major sins. So ibadah is something depends your belief. Arrogance, when you think arrogance is not something you can see it. Some people, they thought, I can see a person and say, oh, this is arrogant. Oh, this is not arrogant. You can't tell. No, I can't tell. How? If he drive a Lamborghini, it means he's arrogant. If he live in Didsbury, is that right? That's crazy. You can't tell someone is arrogant because this is permissible. If Allah give him money, why not? He can give in this, but he can do whatever he wants if it's permissible. So arrogance is not something you can see it. You can't say this man is arrogant, this woman is not arrogant. You can't. It's just in their hearts. That's why Rasulullah give us some points that when they say, what is arrogance? The Sahaba, the companions said, because, oh Prophet, we like to have a nice shoes, a nice clothes. The companions said, is that arrogance? He said, no. Arrogance is not something physical. It's not related to this at all. Then what is arrogance? He said two things. بَطَرُ الْحَقِّ وَغَمْطُ النَّاسِ. Number one, when you deny the truth out of arrogance. Allah Almighty said this, oh, I don't care. This arrogance. When you deny the truth. Second thing of arrogance is how do you treat people. When you thought that you are better than them because of your lineage, because of my race, because of my ethnicity. If you think that, this is arrogance. Because you are equal. You are even from the same family. Adam and Hawa, Adam and Eve. All human beings from the same family. So how can some of them be better than someone else? We are equal. So if you treat people like this is a sign of arrogance. When someone came and went to approach your daughter, and you become very angry, how can he think even about that? I am from this race. How can he ask the hand of my daughter? That's a sign of arrogance. You thought that you are superior. We all servants of Allah. We all from Adam and Eve. We all equal. You know the oneness of Allah. You believe in that. You will believe directly in the oneness of humanity. Means all humanity are equal. What makes them better than one is who is close to Allah more. That's it. Otherwise, anything else, we are equal. I want you to read about the story of a Muslim American, Malcolm X, and his journey to Hajj. Read about this man and how he became Muslim, but for a long time he realized a false Islam. And when he traveled to perform Hajj, that journey transformed his life. And he talked in Hajj in an amazing way. He said, now I realize what Islam is. In Hajj you'll find all the humanity, all the races, all the colors, all the languages, and they all equal. Do the same rituals, go surround the same house, devote to the same Lord. That's the oneness of humanity. So anyway, arrogance is this symptom. So arrogance is one of the major sins that can affect your Iman. Jealousy. You know, some people, they can be very poor. They could be very poor people, but they have disease in their hearts. Jealousy. Whatever Allah gives to anyone, they wish that Allah remove that blessings from people and give it to them. That's one of the major sins, and it's only in the heart. You can't tell. It's only on the heart, because it's related to believe in Allah. If you believe that Allah is the one who provides everything, so when you don't like this, it means you don't like the plan of Allah. Allah is the one who provides for everyone, and He give you ability. And the problem is just in your heart, and the first thing that will cause the problem is for the one who have jealousy, he harm himself first. He can't sleep properly. He can't live his life properly. He always, why this person? Why it's Allah give him this? Why that? Why not me? So these major sins act in the heart is depend to your belief in Allah. If you believe in Allah, then These are the disease of Satan. When Allah Ta'ala told him to prostrate to Adam, out of arrogance he say, I am better than him. I'm from fire, he's from clay. That's arrogance, that's jealousy. From the beginning, أنا خير منه, I am better than him. So that's another type also. So attachment to dunya is another disease of the heart. If you are so attachment to dunya, Rasulullah said, تعس عبد الدينار والدرهم. Rasulullah called those people who have a lot of attachment of dunya. They love wealth and they don't care if it's from permissible way or not permissible. They don't care. They say they are worshipper of wealth. That's the words of Rasulullah. Because that's so strong attachment. It just indicate what is in your heart in belief in Allah. If you believe in Allah and this dunya is just for test and it's temporary world, so how can you explain this so attachment? It's a big problem. There's a very nice book, one author, Dania Mujahid, what's her name? What's the American woman? Yasmin. What's the name of the book? Something hard? Yes. Revive Your Heart. One of them is just talk about the attachment. It's a very nice book. And it comes from own experience for her. So that so attachment is a big problem. Because the more you believe what Allah said, that this world is just temporary, and you are here for test, and you will leave this world one time, the more you believe in this, the more you'll have less attachment to dunya. So it depends to your belief. Depend to your belief. And sometimes Allah, out of His mercy, if He see that strong attachment, He will test you and take off from you that stuff you attach, you connected to, just to wake you up. Just to wake you up. That what's this? So, and there's a lot of stories for those people who attach dunya so much, and then sometimes they have a crisis in their life. Sometimes they lost all their wealth, and Allah wake them up. So that's out of His mercy also. Anyway, the second point here is there is a lot of types of ibadah which is not physical, not in physical form, only in your heart, in both sides. Some commands like love of Allah, have hope in Allah, fear Allah, rely on Allah, have certainty in Allah, and also some prohibitions like jealousy, envy, arrogance, so attachment to this world matter. So that's also ibadah. This is related to belief. That's why belief in Allah is the central point. The more you believe in Allah, everything else it becomes just. The third point here in ibadah, which Surah Al-Baqarah explained, that ibadah is a broad definition, which is every aspect of life could be ibadah. Not only in your hearts, not only rituals like salah and zakah and sawm and hajj, but any aspects. How you treat your neighbor is type of worship. How you treat your spouse is a type of worship. How you treat your children is a type of worship. How you do your business is a type of worship. How you give divorce to your spouse, wife, is a type of worship. Everything. That's why Surah Al-Baqarah explained in the second half of Surah Al-Baqarah a lot of commands, variety of commands to explain for us this. If you believe that Allah is the only one who deserves ibadah, then He created us in this dunya for a purpose, for ibadah. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I did not create jinn and ins only for one reason, for ibadah. If He created us for ibadah, so it means ibadah is just salah. Salah take 1 hour from 24, and what's about the 23 hours? We are here just for ibadah. If ibadah is just salah, sawm, donation, then what about these other hours? Your work is ibadah. Your study is ibadah. Everything is ibadah. So every ibadah has a condition. You should do it sincerely and should do it according to what Allah and His Messenger said. That's 2 conditions. Everything is ibadah. So when you go to work, so I will go to work. Some people think, oh, work is ibadah with one condition. If I wake up with intention that I want this work to make me close to Allah, then Allah will reward you about that day. Second day I forget the intention, oh, I miss it. It's not like this. Intention make your reward so high. But work itself is ibadah. Why? Because you have to provide stuff for yourself and your family if you have family. If you don't do that and sit down in your house and waiting for rizq, this is a sin. If you have family, this is a big sin. كَفَى بِالْمَرْءِ إِثْمًا أَنْ يُضَيِّعَ مَنْ يَعُولُ. Rasulullah said one of the major sins that a man is married and he has responsibility and he sit down without anything to provide it. This is one of the major sin. Can you imagine? So you work not just because, no. Work is ibadah. Some people will, oh, work is ibadah, so I'll have a lot of attachment to work. I work 7 days a week, I will work. He said work is ibadah. But there is a balance. There is a balance. Or a woman will come to me, you are my problem. Why? You said work is ibadah. So my husband is work now 7 days a week. He want to, mashallah, come close to Allah. Everything is balanced. So I mean, in Surah Al-Baqarah, he explained for us many examples to show us this comprehensive concept. Look at examples he gave. He said, when you are in bed, deathbed, or just about to die, writing your will is ibadah. كتب عليكم إذا حضر أحدكم الموت حين كتب عليكم إذا حضر أحدكم الموت إن ترك خيرا الوصية. وصية is ibadah. And he ends the ayah with لعلكم تتقون. In Surah Al-Baqarah, he will give example of ibadah and he say لعلكم تتقون or اتقوا الله. Taqwa is always there. It means any ibadah should connect you to your Lord. But for that person who works 7 days a week, work is ibadah. So ibadah should what? Should bring you close to Allah. So if you neglect your wife, then there's a problem here because that's another ibadah. So taqwa, everything linked to taqwa. Another example. He give us a long passage in Surah Al-Baqarah about the disagreement between spouses in details. I'm always shocked when I recite Surah Al-Baqarah. What's this religion? Comprehensive concept. In details. You want to tell us you are in ibadah. And he choose the disagreement, not the marriage. Not when you are fine and everything is okay. When there's a disagreement between spouses, now the arrogance come. Now the believe now, what you believe now come. If you just, oh, it's me. It's ibadah. Do you know that one of the surahs of the chapters of Quran is called the chapter of divorce? We have 114 chapters in Quran. One of them is divorce, the divorce, Surah Al-Talaq. And Surah Al-Talaq, Allah mentioned taqwa a lot. If you compare the ayat, 12 ayat of Talaq, to how many times Allah mentioned taqwa, is surah number 1 in Quran, Allah mentioned taqwa, compared to the number of the ayat. Why? Because when this agreement you think, oh, you are slave of Allah. You are servant. This is type of worship. Look now how Allah talk about this. He said first, for those people who swear that they will never come to the house, he said this is one of the major sin. You can't. This is a relationship between two parties. You can't decide by yourself, I will never come to my house for a few months. Just, I don't like you, I will leave the house. It's not as you like. This is ibadah. You have to do it according to what Allah said. So he give them a period of time. Otherwise, you have to give divorce. Or you are a big sinful. And he said, when you want to give a divorce, it's not up to you. You have to give it in a certain time. If you don't give it in that certain time, the man is sinful. What's that certain time? Surah Al-Talaq explain it. It's when the cycle month of woman finish and you don't touch her after that, you can give her divorce now. Any other time you are sinful. If you give divorce, a man give divorce during the cycle month, this is sin. If he give divorce after cycle month and he touch her, this is sin. Why? Because Islam wants to be the decision of divorce to be very rational, not emotional decision. In the cycle month, if you give her, number one, the woman sometimes psychologically, hormones is not sometimes very angry. So if you give out of that, that's your fault, not her fault. Secondly, you can't fulfill your desires during the cycle months. So because you are angry, you give divorce. That's not a rational decision. When it's finished that cycle month, and don't touch her. Why don't touch her? Because now you are able to fulfill your desire and you would say, no, I want divorce. It means it's a rational decision. Number one. Okay, when you give divorce, give only one. If you give more than one divorce in one time, you are a sinful. Subhanallah. Only one. Why only one? Because give her period time to think about the decision. Maybe this is wrong decision. There's a iddah, a period time. You give divorce and she will stay in the house for 3 months. It's not permissible for the husband to say, go to your parents. And it's not permissible for the wife to leave the house also. You're still the wife. Why? لَعَلَّ اللَّهَ يُحْدِثُ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ أَمْرًا. Maybe the husband think rationally now. What did I do? This is a wrong decision. Third, when you are about the period now about to finish, you have to bring 2 witnesses and do the divorce. Allah said, وَتَسْرِيحٌ بِإِحْسَانٍ. Do the divorce in excellent way. Excellent way? Divorce? Yes. How's excellent way? Number one, don't expose any secret between you. That's secret. If any one of the spouses expose the secret, this is sin. Number two, both of them, don't say any harsh words. You should say very good words to each other. Forgive me. I had a nice, mashallah, time moment with you. I hope you'll find a better than me. Forgive me for anything. That type of. Because Islam, look at the divorce, very simple. It's just 2 couples come together. After a while, they found out that they are not compatible. That's it. There's no hatred. They are not enemies. The norms and traditions make divorce, oh, it's a war. They are become enemies. No, Islam is completely different. Islam talk about divorce. وَإِن يَتَفَرَّقَا يُغْنِ اللَّهُ كُلًّا مِنْ سَعَتِهِ. He said sometimes divorce is the best decision. That's the word of Quran. And every one of them will give, Allah will give them the better potential. So you should say very good words. Number 3, men doesn't like this, but this is Quran. The man, he should give a gift to his wife when he divorced her. That's not my words. That's Quran. Allah called this. Anyone knows what the words of this gift? متاع. وللمطلقات متاع بالمعروف. متاع, it means a gift. ومتعوهن, it means give them gift. And Allah said that gift is depend to your financial status. That's Quran. على الموسع قدره وعلى المقتر قدره. موسع, it means a rich man depend to his status, and the poor man. So the rich man, he should, for example, give a gift as a car, a house in Cheadle. That's a gift. The poor man, flour, chocolate, but should be a gift. Why? To send a message. We are not enemies. It's just we come up with decision. We are not compatible. That's it. Maybe there is a children between us. We still brothers and sisters in Islam. It's okay. Look at the Sahaba and they divorce, what they do. Everything's still okay. But Muslims nowadays, they make divorce in, I don't know where it's coming from. Just war. Subhanallah. Then Allah said, okay, when you give divorce, what if there's a children? Then he explained in details. Because he cared about the children who come up with divorce. He think about their psychological status. Maybe that divorce will affect them. So that's why the ayat come in details. Number one, you as a man should provide everything for your children. Don't say, I don't like my ex-wife. So this is your children. You have to provide everything for them. That's number one. Number two, what if the child is still younger than 2 years old? Allah talk in an ayah in Quran, half of page. You know about what? About breastfeeding. Because in that time, breastfeeding is nature. It's just the mother can do it. There's no this new stuff nowadays. So what if the wife, after divorce, said, out of anger, I will never breastfeed your child. It's her child also. But out of anger, I will never breastfeed your child. The child will die. Allah said then the husband should hire some woman that time. That's the traditional way to breastfeed the child. That's obligatory. Or he should argue with the wife, okay, I will give you this money to breastfeed the child. That's in Quran. Because he take care about the children now. Okay, what if they want to stop the breastfeeding? Then have to come and have a discussion together. فَإِنْ أَرَادَ فِصَالًا عَنْ تَرَاضٍ. That's in Quran. What after that divorce? Then he talk about what about the house, what about the stuff, everything in details in Surah Al-Talaq. And every ayah in Surah Al-Talaq or Baqarah in this passage, he would say taqwa, taqwa, taqwa. This is ibadah, this is ibadah. If you believe in Allah, He is a legislator, then this is ibadah. Then after that he talk, what if the husband, they not divorced, they still married, and the husband die? Then he talk also about the iddah. The woman should waiting for 4 months and 10 days. And many people, they misunderstand this. They thought that the women in this period, waiting period, she should close the door of the house. She should never go out. Close, switch off the lights. You are in darkness now, 4 months and a half. It just stay. The majority of fuqaha, they said the woman can go for her stuff during the day. It's just type of loyalty to your ex-husband, that you stay that just for this. This is the beauty of Islam. Beauty of Islam, and in the same thing, Islam is, he solved the real problems. What if a person interested in that woman, after 3 months, she is now widow, someone want to marry her? Does that happen? Yes. So Islam talk about always about what's the real issues happen, because He's the one who created us. So another ayah for this. If you are interested in that, that's fine, but you can't speak to her directly about this issue. You have to wait. What if I wait, then someone else will be interested? Then you can, فَمَا عَرَّضْتُمْ بِهِ مِنْ خِطْبَةِ النِّسَاءِ. Give her a hint that you are interested. Subhanallah. Because the one who created us, he knows us. And after Kitabu Ajr, after the Iddah, you can. When you read Surah Al-Baqarah, why these details? Because this is ibadah. If we believe in Allah, we take everything according to His legislation. That's just implication of Tawheed. And this long passage in Surah Al-Baqarah about the family, before he ends that passage, he say, حَافِظُوا عَلَى الصَّلَوَاتِ. Maintain your salah. Do you know, this ayah is amazing. The place of ayah is just say, after long passage, oh, I forget that I'm in ibadah. He say, hey, حَافِظُوا عَلَى الصَّلَوَاتِ. We're still in ibadah. Like Allah will ask you, how was your salah? He will ask you, how did you treat your spouse? Same thing. So he say, حَافِظُوا عَلَى الصَّلَاةِ, and he come back to divorce again. Last point today, when he finished this long passage, he start another long passage in Baqarah, but this time about business transaction. Don't think that, oh, you pray 5 times a day, you are good, mashallah, for your parents. But when you deal with business, you become a different person. You are abd. If you want to do business, do it according to what Allah and His Messenger say. And because this is difficult for some people, this concept, he made the longest ayah in Quran about business transaction. Brothers and sisters, the longest verse in Quran is not about salah, not about siyam, not about zakat, not about hajj, not about any, it's about business transaction. One full page in Mus'haf al-Madinah. Just to emphasize this concept. It's a comprehensive concept. Believe in Allah, then He is the legislator. Then I will act upon what He said. Tabaraka wa ta'ala. May Allah Tabaraka wa ta'ala forgive all of us. May Allah Tabaraka wa ta'ala make us the best worshipper. May Allah Tabaraka wa ta'ala make our relationship strong and connection with Allah strong. May Allah fill our heart with the love of Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah forgive our parents. May Allah relieve all the pain of our brothers and sisters. Wallahu alam wa sallallahu ala abdi rasuli sayyidina Muhammad.